Hi students, welcome to our channel. Today's topic is kinematics part 6 or motion in a straight line part 6. So here our topic is non-uniform acceleration and uses of calculus. So here in previous video we used differentiation method. In this video I am going to explain you regarding integration method. As you know, previously in previous video I explained here differentiation is used when displacement is given and velocity is asked to find, and if velocity is given and if acceleration is asked to find. See here, this is the straight order. If straight order is given to us, we have to use differentiation. This is reverse order. What is order here? Order is nothing but the physical quantities which we learn in kinematics. What is the first physical quantity we learn in kinematics? Displacement, yes. Second one, velocity. Third one, acceleration. So that is the straight order. So if displacement is given and velocity is asked, and if velocity is given, if acceleration is asked to find, then we have to use differentiation. Now here in this case, if acceleration is given to us and if velocity is to be found, we have to use integration. If velocity is given and the displacement has to be found, we have to use the integration method. So this is the reverse order. In previous video we did problems on differentiation. In this video we are going to do problems on integration. Okay, so in this case, now acceleration will be given to us, we have to find velocity. Velocity will be given to us, we have to find displacement. Now let us go to problems. So what are the formulae? You know, there are for non-uniform acceleration, what are the formulae you have to use? We cannot use kinematic equations. S equal to ut plus half at square. This batch of equations, v equal to u plus at, v square equal to u square plus 2as, Sn equal to u plus a and n minus half. We cannot use the set of those equations. They are called kinematic equations. We cannot use them for uniform acceleration case. Here for non-uniform acceleration case, we have to make use of a different set of formulae. What are those? You know, one is v equal to ds by dt, and number 2 acceleration a equal to dv by dt, or acceleration a equal to v dv by ds. I explained all these things in previous video. Once check that video. Let us straight away go to problems now. So the question is, if acceleration a equal to 3t square plus 2t, initial velocity is 5 meters per second. Initial velocity is 5 meters per second. Find the velocity at t equal to 4 seconds. Okay, the motion is in a straight line. A is acceleration in meter per second square and t is time in seconds. Okay, this is the problem here. So what is given? Acceleration a is given as a function of time t. See here, it is expressed as a function of time t, a equal to 3t square plus 2t. Okay, and initial velocity u is equal to 5 meter per second square. 5 meter per second. And find the velocity at time t equal to 4 seconds. Velocity when t equal to 4 seconds equal to how much? We have to find this velocity now. So what we have to find here? Instantaneous velocity. So v at any time t equal to 4 seconds we have to find. So if you find instantaneous velocity which is function of time t, then we can find velocity value at any given time t. So let us find instantaneous value. So here acceleration is given to us and has to be found. So this is a reverse order, no? Reverse order means integration. So okay, and I told you before, the formulae are same for either it is a differentiation or it is integration method. The equations are same. What are the equations? V equal to ds by dt and a equal to dv by dt, or a equal to v into dv by ds. Okay, now here since acceleration is given as a function of time t, we have to take which formula here? We know that acceleration a equal to dv by dt. When we have to take this one, when v is a function of time t or acceleration is a function of time t. Okay, in differentiation case v will be given to us and acceleration has to be found there. So if velocity is given as a function of time t, there we have to use the same expression. Here acceleration is given as a function of time t. Even here also we have to use the same expression. So a equal to dv by dt, and what we want to find here, we know. So let us take this dv term to one side and let us take the remaining terms to other side. This implies dv equal to how much? dv equal to a dt. So this implies integral dv equal to integral a dt. So this implies an integral dv, v varies from what to what here? Initial velocity is 5, no? So lower limit is 5, upper limit is some v, since we don't know. And here time t equal to 0 to some t. So this implies v, lower limit 5, upper limit v. So this is equal to, let me write here, this is 3t square plus 2t dt. Limits time t equal to 0 to some t seconds. So after integrating, what we are getting here, this is the t cube plus this is t square by 2, therefore this is a t square. What are limits here? 0 to t. So this implies v minus 5 equal to t cube plus t square. So this implies v equal to, sending this minus 5 to that side, t cube plus t square, so it becomes plus 5. Okay, so this is the instantaneous velocity, expression for instantaneous velocity. V is a function of time t, right? So now what we have to find, v when t equal to 4 seconds we have to find. What is this expression? This is v for any time t, and we want v at a particular t equal to 4 seconds. What we have to do, in this expression, just substitute the value of t equal to 4 seconds. So we get 4 cube plus 4 square plus 5. So this is equal to, let us take this one common here, 4 square common. If you take this one common, this is 4 plus 1, this is 5. So 16 into 5, 80 plus 5. So this is equal to 85 meters per second. So when time t equal to 4 seconds, the particle moves with a velocity of 85 meters per second. Okay. See question number 2. The deceleration experienced by a moving water boat after its engine is shut off is given by dv by dt equal to minus k v power 3 or minus k v cube, where k is constant. If v0 is the magnitude of velocity at shut off, find the velocity as a function of time t. Find the velocity as a function of time t. So what is given here? dv by dt equal to minus k v cube. What is dv by dt? Acceleration. So here acceleration is given to us and we have to find velocity. So acceleration is given and we have to find velocity. So what we have to use here? Integration, right? So now since we have to find velocity, let us take velocity terms to one side. dv by v cube is equal to minus k dt. Okay, here k is constant. This can be expressed as v power minus 3 dv equal to minus k dt. Integrating on both sides. Here what are the limits here? Initial velocity is v0, no? So initial velocity is v0. Instantaneous velocity is some v. Here what about time t? Initial time is 0, final time is t seconds, right? So let us integrate this one. So this is integral x power n. This is just like integral x power n. So x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So v power minus 3 plus 1 by minus 3 plus 1. This is the integration of this. Lower limit is v0, upper limit is v. So this is equal to minus k. K is constant, so integration cannot be applied for constant values. So this minus and constant k, they are brought outside, and integral for dt. What is integral dt? T. Lower limit is 0, upper limit is this one. Now this implies, what is this? V power minus 2 by minus 2. Limits v0 to v, this is equal to minus k, this is t. Now this implies, what is this? Minus half, this is v power minus 2 minus v0 power minus 2. This is equal to minus kt. So this minus and that minus cancels here. So this implies v power minus 2 minus v0 power minus 2 equal to 2 goes there, 2 kt. Okay. So this implies v power minus 2 equal to, sending this one that side, v0 power minus 2 plus 2 kt. This implies this implies 1 by v square is equal to 1 by v0 square plus 2 kt. So taking LCM here, v0 square is LCM. So this is 1 plus 2 k v0 square t. Okay. So this implies v square equal to v0 square by 1 plus 2 k v0 square t. Velocity v equal to, taking square roots on both sides, v0 by root of 1 plus 2 k v0 square t. So this is the answer. So velocity as a function of time, here v0 is constant, k is constant. See, in the denominator and square root t is there. So velocity v is a function of time, as it is there in the question, as asked in the question. We found the same thing here. Velocity we got as a function of time t here. Okay, our next question is question number 3. The velocity of a particle moving along positive x-axis varies as v equal to alpha root x, where alpha is positive constant, If at a t equal to 0, x equal to 0, find the velocity and acceleration in terms of t here. So what is given? Velocity v equal to alpha root x. What does it mean? That is, the velocity is given as a function of x. So in previous problems, velocity was given as a function of time t. Now here velocity is given as a function of displacement x. What is x here? Displacement. So this is given to us, and what we have to find? V equal to how much? Acceleration equal to how much? V as a function of t equal to how much? As a function of displacement is given to us, we have to find velocity as a function of time, and similarly we have to find acceleration as a function of time. So this is the given thing, and we have to find these two things here, right? So what shall we do? You know, so when velocity is given as a function of time t, we have to use which formula? Acceleration equal to dv by dt. If velocity is given as a function of displacement s, then what about acceleration? Acceleration equal to v dv by ds. So let us use such formula here. We know that acceleration, let us first find acceleration. Acceleration a equal to what? V dv by ds. So here acceleration a equal to v dv by dx. Why? Because here displacement is represented by x. In general, this is the general formula. Displacement is symbolized as s. So we can, here in this problem, displacement is symbolized as x. So here we have to use acceleration a equal to v dv by dx. So therefore a equal to, what is v here? V is alpha root x. what is dv by dx? So this is equal to d by dx of alpha root x. So this is equal to alpha root x into what is derivative of this one? Alpha is constant, take this one outside. What is the derivative of root x? See here we are using differentiation. See we are deriving, no, d by dx is differential operator, we are using differentiation, sir. And why we are using differentiation here? This topic actually involves integration, no? See here we are deriving this acceleration from which expression? From v equal to alpha root x. So from this expression we are going to find acceleration. So v is given to us, and what we are finding? We are finding acceleration. This is straight order or reverse order? This is straight order. For straight order, what we have to use? Differentiation. See, we are using differentiation here. Got it? Okay, right. So this is alpha root x. What is derivative of this one? Alpha will be brought outside, and differentiation of root x. So you know, d by dx of x power n, d by dx of x power n equal to n x power n minus 1. So apply that one, n x power n minus 1. So this is equal to alpha square root x, this is 1 by 2 is there, no, this one, and by root x. X power half minus 1 is x power minus half. So root x cancels. So this is equal to half alpha square. So this is acceleration. Acceleration equal to half alpha square. So what is alpha? Alpha is constant. So constant means what type of acceleration is this? Here acceleration a equal to alpha square by 2. This is equal to constant. But what is asked in the question? Find the velocity and acceleration in terms of t. So can you get acceleration in terms of t here? No. So acceleration, it is a constant here, we cannot get in terms of t. So here it is constant acceleration. I told you, know, for constant acceleration also we have to use the calculus part of mathematics. When the given physical quantities are expressed as functions of some other physical quantity. Here velocity is expressed as a function of displacement. So in such cases, even if the acceleration of the particle seems to be constant, then also we have to use calculus. See here acceleration, we got constant acceleration, but we used calculus differentiation here, right? Now we have to find velocity. So velocity as a function of time, v as a function of time, t equal to how much? How can we find? We know here acceleration, how much we got? Acceleration equal to alpha square by 2. So this equal to constant acceleration. This is constant acceleration. If acceleration is constant, can't we use kinematic equations? Yes, we can use kinematic equations. So here we have to find velocity as a function of time t. Let us check this equation, kinematic equation, v equal to u plus at. Can we use this equation or not? Yes, we can use this equation. Why? Because acceleration is constant. Okay, those kinematic equations, they are actually meant for uniform acceleration case only. Okay, but even if it is uniform acceleration case, if the physical quantities are expressed as functions of some other physical quantities, then we have to use calculus. So that has happened here. We used the calculus part. So now, since we got acceleration is constant and we have to find velocity as a function of time t, can't you use this equation? Check this one, v equal to u plus at. Yes, we can use because the acceleration is constant here. So v equal to, what is initial velocity? If at t equal to 0, x equal to 0. So t equal to 0 means what? It is the starting time of the journey. So at t equal to 0, what is the displacement? X equal to 0. So what is initial velocity? When t equal to 0, velocity is initial velocity. So let us put x equal to 0 here. So what is initial velocity? 0. We are getting 0. Plus what is acceleration? Alpha square by 2. What is time? Any time t. So this is the velocity after any time t seconds. So therefore v equal to how much here? Alpha square by 2 into t. See, v we got as a function of time t. In the next video we are going to solve this is a non-uniform acceleration case or uniform acceleration case where physical quantities are expressed as functions of other physical quantities. So we are going to use graphs, okay, in next video.